Hey y'all, welcome back to Mirror Expressions, a channel where I take the time to share a little bit of myself with you all. And I invite y'all to come on in and do the same with me. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video and drop me a mirror emoji if y'all have looked in the mirror today and you are feeling A1 with what you see looking back at you. And if not, as always, I encourage you to do what you must to get back to a healthier you. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. We are reviewing and recapping Love Without Borders. This is season 1, episode 4. We're looking at rings. Y'all, I don't even know why they titled this whole episode. We're looking at rings. We only got a 1-minute snippet of somebody looking at some rings or even mentioning rings at all. But it is what it is. So it opens up. We see Brian and Dana. They're out and about, doing some shopping. Y'all, Dana is falling head over heels. I don't know if it's because she ain't got nowhere to go back to. She's just trying to make the best out of a situation. But baby, honey is smitten. She is smitten with Brian. So she makes this joke about him getting her ring. So hence, this is where the title is coming in. And so they end up where they're walking it. It's like a little, little outlet with stores. So they end up, he takes her to this jewelry store where they kind of just window shop at rings. But so in his confessional, he was like, yeah, we look, but let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? And I'm like, I mean, are they even a weekend at this point? Like, I'm with you, Brian. Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I bet you if he were to be like, let's go on, make this official, let's do the do, Dana would be like, hell yeah. Oh, sheesh. But anyway, so that was pretty much it. Like I said, it wasn't even just a 1-minute snippet about this whole ring. They end up, so it's Christmas time, y'all. So this must have been filmed a year ago. So they just end up sharing like a little romantic time under this big lighted globe, kissing and making out and whatnot. So, but yeah, anyway. And next we see Gurlene and Shraya. They're 5 days in and at the house. And the two of them and his sister, I think, are just sitting around talking. And so she brings up, how she had so much fun at the party. And of course, Shreya's like, well, I remember things a little differently. I said, So he said he wasn't trying to be disrespectful to her or anything, but that he was just wanting to let her know how things are done in Dubai, right? So over in her confessional, the producer asked her, like, Gurlene, do you feel that that's what a good guest does at a party? Baby, Gurlene did not remember ish. Do you hear me? I said, oh, you had a good time, all right, because baby, it was lit. I told y'all, they were throwing them shots back like it was water. They were walking around with shot necklaces. A little baby does not remember anything, any of that. She was wasted, y'all. Anyway, conversation then kind of shifts to them doing some house hunting. And I said, oh, yeah, because you could tell Shraya is spoiled. He was sitting here pointing out places, just looking at them like, oh, that looks nice. I think I wouldn't mind staying there without any regards to cost. I'm just like, who does that? Who does it? That's like one of the first things you want to know. How much is this place going to cost? You know what I'm saying? Then we see Naim finally headed to Panama. You know, we didn't get that. We never saw him actually meet his person last week. We just saw him being told where he was going to go. So he's going to Panama. And y'all, I'm just going to give it to y'all how I wrote it in my notes, because sometimes you write stuff down in your notes and then you come back and you be like, oh, that's what there was. It's one of those moments. So don't judge me. So Naim, you know, he was on the plane doing like his own little personal cam, like probably from his phone and whatnot. And so, look, y'all, don't ask me what he said, because I was highly distracted by whatever he had going on in his front tour right here. Oh, goodness. If y'all have seen it or if you have not seen it yet, just pay attention. If you already seen it, go rewind, go rewatch and see what I'm talking about. Y'all, wait a minute. This is the moment. We gonna find out what that is later on, right? So anyway, he done landed. He in the airport. Oh, excuse me. He in the airport. He trying to find his match some flowers. I thought they were sweet, but he was having a difficult time because apparently his Spanish is not on point. I said, well, mine is not either. He's doing a lot better than I would be doing right now, but he never got his flowers at the airport. He got his little ride or whatever, and he arrives at the house, and you know his driver had took him somewhere to get some flowers or whatever. So y'all, okay, this the moment. This is the aha moment. Like, this is the, oh, Keita, you wrong. So before he get out the taxi, right, he doing another self-cam, right? Oh, y'all, and I done figured out the whole thing about what that was in his tooth. Because I literally thought it was probably like some food or something that was stuck in there. Girl, y'all, look, I'm finna call y'all girl, because I can't say it ain't nothing but women out here. But y'all, I'm gonna say this what it was. So y'all know this part of your lip with in the middle. And you know how sometimes they have a little point, or some people have a little ball, or you know what I'm saying? That's what it was, y'all. I said, get down. Some may be bigger than others. Well, his is a little bit on the bigger side. And so when he talks or smiles, it like shifts and it gets caught up on his front tooth over here. I said, oh, y'all. I felt so bad, like, when I realized it, because I was really distracted by it earlier. I was like, what is that in his mouth, y'all? So I'm laughing. I'm not laughing because that's the way he was made by a maker or whatever. I'm laughing because I literally thought it was some food or something in his mouth. And I was thinking, like, he should have cleaned his mouth out before he got on his darn camera. Oh yeah, I feel so bad for laughing. But anyway, woo, child. I'm good now. Anyway, so y'all know, so he done made it to the house, but y'all know how they gonna do. They gonna be dramatic with it. So of course they cut to commercial because we can't get it all in one time. You know what I'm saying? So it's day 9 for Carmen and Phil, and they are going rollerblading, right? Apparently Ghana has just opened their first skating park, and so she takes him there, right? Baby, Carmen said, what is gonna happen? Because she's like, we're comfortable with each other, we have chemistry. Like, when is he gonna make a move? Like, she ready, baby. So so they're talking, and he tells her about, more about his mom and what she did while in Ghana, like helping to build the schools. She was bringing clean water to the villages. And then he mentions that she worked alongside the Marleys, right? So Carmen got all excited. You know, she gets excited and she started recounting the first time, well, I guess the first and only time she met Rita Marley, like when she was a child. And she was able to shake her hand, like that was big for her. And so he drops it on her that Rita Marley is his godmom. So she's just like, wow, what? You know, like she's taken aback by that. But at the same time, it got her thinking like, well, what else aren't you telling me? You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of just thinking like, okay, what did I say? 9 days in? Like, at what point do you be like, hey, do you know such and such? Yeah, that's my grandma. Like, to me, that was saying kind of like bragging almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would not have led with that either if I had those type of connections. Like, it's just not something, you know, I would do or whatever. So, if y'all don't know who Rita is, she used to be married to Bob Marley. So, that's that. So, anyway. All right, y'all. We back in Naim, right? So, he just getting out the car, right? Ain't even closed the door, y'all. And his master does not even give him a chance to get all the way out, walk up to the door, knock on the door, wait for her to open the door. Like, baby, no. It's like she had been there waiting on pins and needles, looking at their wonder probably every 2 minutes. Because, baby, when I tell y'all, he probably still had 1 foot in the car, 1 foot out, baby, and she was coming at this door. But anyway, her name is Chandra. She's 35 and a customer assistant. Naim is impressed with her off bat as far as physical attraction. He keeps saying how beautiful she is, yada, yada, yada. So Erica said that she matched them because she feels that Chandra will balance out his playful side. So we see her, Chandra, she's giving him a tour of the house, and she comes to this one room in particular, y'all. Oh, child. And she said it was her guest room where he will be sleeping in, but y'all, it looked like a little girl room. when they first showed the room, because we didn't know that was the guest room at first. We just see her giving this tour. Y'all, when I say the room like a little girl room, it was like done up in colors like pinks and yellows. It had the little traditional white furniture that you like see in the babies or children rooms. It had like stuffed animals everywhere. I said, oh, this is the first thing I said, oh, she got to look good somewhere. She said, no, this is my guest room, and this is where, and he was like, is this where I'm going to be sleeping? And all he doing is looking at this little bitty twin-size bed, because now, mind you, Naim is tall. He's a big guy. She was like, yeah. I said, oh, child. But anyway, yeah, he sees a Bible somewhere, and he started like, yeah, mama, see, I told you it was going to work out. You're going to be proud of me. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Okay, mama's boy. Anyway, after the tour, so they sit down talking, and then she's just like, I forget your name. Which I can understand. He doesn't have a common name. So, you know, so he tells her, call me Chocolate. I said, oh. She said, no, I'm not going to do that. She's like, once you go black, you never go back. And he's like, yup. I said, Naim, he a mess. He's a mess. He tells her that, you know, they had the potential, right, to work out. I'm like, Naim, you done been in this lady presence all of 10 freaking minutes. And you talking about y'all got the potential to work out? Oh, these folks. I'm just like, at this point, he is merely basing things off of a physical attraction because he knows nothing about her. Like, no parts of her. You know what I'm saying? At this point, all you did was see her house. You know her name. Like, how do you see this definitely working out? Like, or having the potential to work out? Oh, but anyway, and I ain't didn't waste no time. He dived straight in and he asked her, you know, what is her dating life been like? And so I think she said she had the last person she was with was a very rough relationship, yada, yada, yada. And she said, though, she's the type of person that when she sees a red flag, oh, she's ready to go. And so she, you know, of course, flips the question back on him. And so she basically wants to know what are you looking for? So he rattles off some stuff like God-fearing, well, I think he's spiritual. Look, don't let me lie. Don't let me lie, y'all. Because at the end of the day, the one that really stuck out for me was when he was just like patient. That was like the last thing he said. She must be patient. And homegirl said, oh, she ain't got no patience. Homegirl said, I ain't get it. I ain't got it for you. And y'all know this Negro like to play, baby, all day. So he was just like, you know, he wanted to know if that would get on her nerves. And she was like, yeah. So he was just like, you know, we need to come up with some kind of code word if I'm starting to be a little bit too much. We need to come up with like a signal or something. So I said, yeah, you're going to need something because you don't need to tame all that, calm all that down for a little bit. But anyway, we see Aaron. Aaron's the one with Mael off in Paris, right? So he's also doing like a personal cam right now at the apartment. And Mael is not there. He's out like swimming or something, he said. But he's just talking to us about his experience thus far. And he says, you know, he's basically pretty much feeling overwhelmed right now. It's all hitting him at this one time. Like he said, he's in this little itty bitty tiny weeny apartment. Because he said like that, y'all. But basically, that's what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? He in this little bitty apartment. Yet when you walk outside to Paris. Like one of the most beautiful places in the world. You know what I'm saying? And so then he said he's surrounded by people that don't speak his language. He doesn't know anyone. And it's just all pretty much hitting him at one time. And sorry, I said this says like Mael is more into him than he is into Mael. And I'm not saying that based off of this personal video cam that we're getting now. I'm just speaking in general. Like that just kind of seems to be like what's coming across. You know what I'm saying? Because what he said on his personal cam just now, I really feel like those are pretty much natural feelings that he's experienced right now. Like, I think I even mentioned that it may be like the first or second episode. Well, the first or third, I guess, because 1 and 2 were kind of together. Like, that's a lot for one person to deal with. Like, you're going to these places. You don't know anybody. It's like a culture shock, could be, you know. So, you know, so I think those are natural feelings that he's experiencing. But anyway, it's only day 4. So they go out, they're walking, and Aaron ends up sharing with Mael that he's been feeling anxious about the whole situation. And he just talks about, you know, some of the same things he shared with us on his personal cam. And apparently, outwardly he has been being quiet and kind of withdrawn. And so Mael said he noticed it and just wanted to give him his space or whatever. So I said I was glad to see Aaron kind of being honest and verbalizing how he was actually feeling and not just leaving it up to those actions to be interpreted however they wanted it to be interpreted, because Mael could have very well got interpreted as, oh, he's not interested in me, which, could be further from the truth. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that as of yet, but it could be easily misinterpreted. So I'm glad that he was being open and honest about how he was feeling, so that, nobody has to guess about what was going on, So Mael just kind of assured him that he doesn't want Aaron to feel any kind of pressure, at least from him. I said, oh, they're kind of cute. They're kind of cute. We see Gurlene and Shraya. It's their 9th day. They're packing up. So they done found them a 2-bedroom, fully furnished apartment with a month-to-month lease. I said, oh, okay. Child, Shraya was trying to be a gentleman when they was taking their bags out. Like he was trying to take her heavy luggage to the car. Oh, child, and she made a whole issue out of that. I said, I can't do it. I cannot. This doggone Gurlene, baby. Is it real? Like, at what point, I get that you are independent woman. You know what I'm saying? But at what point do you let, a gentleman show up as a gentleman in your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you want, allow that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, child, she just, oh, girl, she make me tired. She's exhausted. I can only imagine how exhausted it can be to be with her, because she exhausts me through my TV screen. So anyway, y'all, they end up getting to their new apartment about 7:30 in the evening, right? And she immediately goes to her room for the night. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, you done had this man move from his home. And no matter how much I think he should still not be living at home with his parents, that is still his home. And you done had him move from his home only for you to still not trying to get to know him. Like, what is going on? Make it make sense, girl. So, over with Chandra and Naim, she's cooked dinner for him. And so they go eat it on her balcony, which is, of course, located upstairs. But it's like an itty bitty balcony, right? So it's just like this huge coffee table in this teeny tiny space. And so Naim looking around like, where the chairs at? And she was like, ain't no chair. Ain't no chairs. We sitting on the floor. So she plops her butt on the floor. And Naim looking like, okay, where I'm supposed to sit at? You know what I'm saying? Like, how my big tail supposed to get down here on this floor, y'all? He got on that floor. It wasn't no room for him. He had to literally dangle his legs through the little rails and hang them off the balcony. I said, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But, they seem to be getting along. You could tell that it's still some nervousness there. She ends up saying something like, I hope you don't get diarrhea from my food. Like, who says that? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they end up kind of getting to like some serious conversation where they're talking about their childhood. And so that was kind of refreshing, kind of just to see them have a conversation that kind of had some meat to it. Because pretty much we just been getting all this giggling. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty good to see them. Back with Brian and Dana. So he's taking her to Cliffs of Mohair. Fun fact that we learned on their drive. Even their drive up, like the scenery was so beautiful. Did y'all realize that, or was it just me? Like, anyways, fun fact. There are bags of ink that is tied around the male sheeps or the rams, as they're called. And it's tied around the necks of the rams so that when they mate, the ink then rubs off onto the female sheep. And so the rams have different color ink. So you would know which ram mated with what female, basically. I said, isn't that something? If I don't like this show for anything else, because it still remains, so far it has my attention. But if I don't like for anything else, I like it for the interesting tidbits and fun facts we kind of get each episode. Like, I feel like I'm learning something. I learn 2 or 3 things every episode about different cultures. So I've really been enjoying that aspect of things. So anyway, they make it to the place, and y'all, this place was absolutely breathtaking. Like, I want to go now. Can I go? And did y'all see that cathedral? Okay, but anyway, that place was absolutely breathtaking. Oh my goodness. And I bet it was so peaceful up there. So peaceful. So, yeah, she tells him yet again, because she told this baby this about 2 or 3 times already, that she can see herself living there and starting a family with him. Yeah. That's all I can say. Yeah. Okay. It's day 11, and Gurlene and Shraya, they are going camel riding. Y'all, I told y'all from the very beginning, Gurlene was going to be something else. That thing is a handful. Do you hear me? She's a handful. So they get to the place, right? They get to the place. It's in the middle of the desert. Right? So it was like a little hut or a little store. I don't know. But anyway, needless to say, whatever it was, that's where they kind of check in and all this. So they have these 2 bins of scarves. You pick a scarf, you tie it around your head or whatever. And so she wanted to pick a scarf from the other bin versus the one that they gave her to pick a scarf out of. And so they explained to her that, well, the scarves in this bin are for the men, and those in the bin that we gave you are for the women. Y'all, she started questioning these men. Why are those only for the men? This is not okay. Lady, who are you? Like, now I can see. Now they did take the time, to explain to her, had something to do with tradition and culture. And I could see if she was really asking to just ascertain like some knowledge, kind of like these fun facts we begin. Like, well, why is that? That's interesting. Like, what's the thing behind it? No, she was questioning them folks. Like, because she literally said it's not right, it's not fair, or something to that point. Before she goes on to ask them why. Like, lady, oh, child, She said it don't make no sense, and I'm saying, baby, you don't make no sense, girl. Because, oh, child, Shraya got his hands full, y'all. But anyway, so they go on, they get to the camels. Y'all, she about to get onto her camel, right? And they, basically, they got the camels laying down on the ground so people can hop on. So she about to basically, they explain you get on, kind of like you do a horse. You kind of just get on, you swing that one leg around. Y'all, so I'm trying to set the scene. So you had like one camel here, then one right behind it, and one right behind it. So it's 3 camels. So she getting on her camel, and this one right behind it. And so when she swing that leg around, why she kicked the camel that was behind the camel she was getting on? I said, now she out here abusing the animals. I'm just kidding, y'all. No, she wasn't. She wasn't. That was a mistake, but but y'all, Bravo was wrong. Because why they had to make a whole sound effect when it happened? I said they wrong for that. I said they wrong for that. They end up sitting and watching the sunset and start discussing like what were some of their goals as far as the new year coming up. And you know what? In that moment, there was probably the best that I could take her. Like, in that moment, she seemed pleasant. She really did. Anyway, back to Aaron and Mael. It's day 6. And so they go out to dinner. Mael wanted to take Aaron out so he could get a taste of some real French cuisine, right? So, or some traditional French cuisine. So they end up having escargot, which is snail, if you don't know that, and foie gras. I guess I'm saying that right now. I've never had that now. And that is goose liver, or the liver of the goose, right? I like escargot, but like I said, that foie gras, whatever, however you say it, so forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. I've never had it. Don't know what it tastes like. It doesn't sound good. It does not sound appealing, the liver of a goose. So anyway, Aaron, he liked the escargot. When he got to the goose liver, it was made like a cream, and you spread it on your bread, right? And so he had some, and he said, "Oh, it kind of reminds me of cream cheese." And I can get how he got that, or how he made that comparison, because it was kind of the same consistency. I don't necessarily he probably meant that it tasted like that, but that it just kind of put him in the mindset of that. You know what I'm saying? But Mael, I said, oh, he's kind of a bit of a food snob. Because, baby, I saw it in his face and how he rolled that head and he turned the nose up like cream cheese. Like, like Mael. What was that about? And then even in his confessional, he said that he actually felt offended. Like, Mael's not that serious. Talking about it's a French delicacy. It's still not that serious, Mael. Anyway, Mael ends up asking him about like his ex, and so Aaron starts talking to him about his ex, and it sounds like Aaron's only kind of been in one relationship, at least with another male. But anyway, just kind of getting, that's the picture that's kind of being painted from the tidbits we got before, and then how he kind of explained things to Mael. But in that, he also led into how he came out to his parents, because it was all kind of intertwined. And so he talked about that experience and how his parents took it when he came out. And so then Mael in turn kind of talked about how it was with him and his dad when he came out to his dad. So they're starting to have some deeper conversations. So that's cool. Back with Phil and Carmen. Day 11, 79 days left to go, baby. And they are talking. And she brings up how he didn't want her to know what his social media was, right? And so we end up getting this flashback of a conversation of them talking social media and him saying that, you know, he just wanted to let that exchange happen a little later. And I think that was day one, actually. I think is what it said. Because we didn't see it whenever it happened. So we just now getting to see it during the flashback. So anyway, so she says, you know, since he wasn't shared, she went to snooping and she came across it. So she found it anyways. And she says, I know why you didn't want me to have it. Because you out here thirst trapping. I said, ew, not the thirst trapping. Not Mr. I'm celibate out here thirst trapping. And I was just like, you know, she's saying that he was not sharing because he was thirst trapping. It's what she's trying to get across. Now, when we first saw that flashback of him saying, when he said, what he said, we'll wait later to exchange that information is what he said. And like I said, I think that was day one. I think that's what it was. I was thinking he was not wanting to exchange the information at that point because he didn't want to lead with who he was attached to as far as his family, right? Because some people, I'm sure, probably be like, oh, your dad was so-and-so. Oh, okay, yeah, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I was thinking. But baby, nah, she said this man was out his thirst trapping. And so she even gave specifics, talking about he's showing his, well, let's say, in the words of She by Sheree, his VPL in them blue jeans. And yeah, Bravo showed it. So he had on like some blue joggers. And it was it. So no shirt, nothing. And he all dancing. And yeah, that thing was thinging. I say, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. And then thirst trap, and I was like, yeah, he's doing it. That's exactly what it's screaming to me. You know, he tried to downplay it like he was just entertaining. And so that's the real reason he didn't want to give it to her, is what Carmen is surmising. Anyways, she kind of get upset about it too. And he's like, you getting upset off of one post? And she said, it ain't just one. It's like thousands of pictures on there. And they're all the same. And y'all, Bravo shady, but they on Shiesty and Tell start showing picture by picture by picture by picture. And sure enough, every picture, he there with no clothes on. And he either just got on some drawers. No, I think that was all we saw. Was drawers. I was going to say drawers or like some joggers now, but I think that's all we saw was some drawers. Picture after picture after picture, y'all. I said, Bravo, they be so messy, man. Then there was even one with like him eating some type of fruit. I couldn't see it because it went so fast. But you know, he was eating it all suggestively, like, you know, just being over dramatic with things, you know what I'm saying? And y'all know what? I just said over dramatic. I'm gonna tell y'all why this is coming to my head. So he ends up she says to him that this a turnoff to her. And it would be for me too. I ain't gonna lie. Like when I see that kind of behavior, it definitely is a turn off. But where they are right now, I wouldn't just count him out. Like I wouldn't discount him immediately because, you know, you got to consider like all of this was before meeting her. It was before him even thinking to do this process. You know what I'm saying? So this is all behavior before her. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I would still keep my good eye on him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like, I recall I was dating this guy once, and he was kind of the same way. Like, he was all on Facebook, and like, I think this is like when the beard thing just kind of popped off, and you had like all these little private groups, and I just happened to be in one, y'all. And he was in there just trying to, you know, I say, ooh, yeah, it was a no for me. It was a no, because then, like, other stuff just kind of started popping up. I was like, see, you doing too much. And you doing too much. You doing too much. So, to me, like, people like that, they are seeking some type of validation just to feel good about themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I need you to do that on your own and not from the approval of others. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel her in some sense. I really do. So, you know, she just said his actions aren't lining up with his words. Basically, he wants to be celibate, but you posting stuff like this pretty much. So, he ends up flipping it. And so, he's like, so you don't take pictures in your bikini and post them on your Instagram? And she was like, yeah, but I live on the beach. And so they end up showing her pics. I said, you know what? Bravo, miss. So, you know, pretty much he's like, well, you know, she's being a hypocrite. And he tells her she's being OD. And so that's why I paused a minute ago, because when I was writing my notes, I was like, OD. I was like, I don't know what they mean. Like, what do they mean by OD? Like, I even went to the Urban Dictionary and typed in OD. Like, what's meant by it? And I think it is over dramatic. Y'all let me know in the comments if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I'm just going to say in my head, this what kind of sounds good when I used that word not too long ago, that it meant over dramatic. You know, so he tells her that she's being OD. So over dramatic kind of sounds good with it. So anyway, and then it just kind of all ends up in an argument because she's trying to talk and he's trying to interrupt. And so they end up kind of getting into a tussle about their little power struggle. You know, every time, you know, she's talking and he interrupts, she wants to say, let me talk, don't interrupt, yada, yada, yada. Let me finish. Excuse me. And they might say, you always talking. I said, well, damn. So now he did go on to say that he did not tell her about the Instagram for the same reason I thought. He didn't want her to know about his family, but the pics that Bravo showed didn't have anything to do about who his family was. So I don't think that was the truth, because unless there were other things on there that kind of gave leeway to who he was related to. But what Bravo showed, we ain't getting none of that. Anyway, it was giving F-boy vibes. So, but hey, y'all, then at some point she was just like, you're projecting, I see you. And it's when Candy Burris Tucker on him. We see each other. I said, no, he did not. That girl said, you're projecting, I see you. We see each other. Yeah, anyway, that was it. First argument for them two. in the books. And that was the end, y'all. That was the end of the episode. Like I said, this catching my attention so far. So I can't wait to see what next week is going to be. You know what I'm saying? See what else we get. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. And until next time, I pray for you. Y'all, please pray for me. And what? Peace out, y'all.